Scott Hilton, Scott Talks. Let's sit, enjoy the Florida sunshine. It's about 82 degrees, 130 on 7725. We're going to talk about cable TV versus streaming. 99% I hear of people out there that have access to Wi-Fi and a router and all that, have some kind of streaming service, whether they know it or not. You got Paramount Plus. If you got Walmart Plus, it comes free. It has ads. It's great. It's just like cable. If you have Amazon shipping, you got Amazon Prime Video free. Comes with it. You guys can get Pluto TV. If you have a Roku or Fire device, you can get the Roku channel. You can get Tubi on your Apple devices or Roku devices or whatever little device, your TV, your Samsung Smart TV, whatever. You can watch Tubi for free. It's just like cable, and it's free. Absolutely free. Those are the three big freebies. The Roku channel, if you can get it, and Pluto TV and Tubi are the huge. And they're absolutely free. You just have commercials. And you've got some great old stuff on there, great movies. You know, it's definitely worth the try. And not paying for cable. Cable is insane these days. Absolutely insane. How you doing? Somebody on the bike. There you go. See, I'm sitting here on my bike, enjoying the Florida day. Stopped to talk to you guys. And if you look at your bill, just look at it. I mean, back in the day, I used to look at my bill and it would have some kind of fee on there. Next month, it would have a new fee. It was part of another fee that was only $2. And then all of a sudden, it's separate and it's another $1. It's another $2. They nitpick you to death in cable. And then you get all these great channels that you never watch. You never watch. And now, the number one shows on streaming are not available on cable. I mean, you got all these channels. You got 100 channels, whatever you got. You watch about 5 or 10 of them. And you can get most of those channels duplicated with streaming services. If you're in the United States, you want to get ABC. You get Hulu, regular Hulu with ads, cheaper. Anything with ads is cheaper. And it airs the next day. So if you're a big fan of The Rookie, next day it'll be on Hulu. Watch it. Now those things like YouTube with live TV. How you doing? Hey, golf cart. Yo, there's little flags on there for 4th of July. YouTube live TV is like 80 some bucks. Hulu with live TV, 80 some bucks. Tubi's about 80 something. It has a lot of sports stuff. That's the only reason people get that stuff right now. You should not ever get it for news. I want my news. Well, you know what? Go in your search thing. I mean, you can get all the news you want in YouTube. Get YouTube. YouTube is the number one, just basic YouTube. More people watch YouTube than Netflix. Netflix is the number one streaming service. Anyone that's getting their feet wet should definitely go with Netflix. And then if they're interested in network stuff, saving some money, I mean, you're gonna need a Wi-Fi, you're gonna need the router, but you can cut your cable. You can tell cable bye-bye. You can keep their internet if you want it, or get it from a satellite if you're out in the boonies, or you can get it from your phone company and say, hey, how's that work? And call your phone. AT&T, you can get, you know, phone internet. Verizon and T-Mobile are two big giants in phone internet right now. And you can get that in most areas. You know, check into it. Ask your neighbors, hey, what do y'all use? The only reason cable exists is because it's free. With some subdivisions have it, oh, we have cable. And now they're dropping the cable. They're just saying, well, we have internet. You know, and apartments, you know, they have free cable included. Of course, it's added to your bill, but they call it free. And I mean, with streaming, you get all the new cool shows. And you get the other cable shows. And you can't get some of those cool news shows on cable. It just doesn't exist. If you want regular news, you know, I know my wife hated leaving Spectrum News behind. 24/7 news, you could always turn it on, whatever. And now we watch the news on YouTube. You know, whatever story's interesting, we watch that. 5-minute long, 10-minute long, 2-minute long, 30-second long. You want the weather? There are weather apps. There is weather on YouTube. But I look at my phone. I just give it a quick glance. Oh, it's going to rain soon. It's going to do this. It's going to do that. And I'm done. You know, I'm watching YouTube. I'm watching the news. Or YouTube is like the biggest Google search engine. It's owned by Google. It's like a video search engine. Anything you want a subject on, you type it in the search and you'll find that on YouTube. Someone's put a video out about something. You know, and that's, get started with YouTube. Oh my gosh, if you've never streamed anything or watched anything, you get addicted to YouTube. Anything you want to know about is there. And the more you click on stuff, the more it knows that you like this subject. When you subscribe to channels, it's free. You just hit subscribe and that person's stuff will show up a little bit more than some of the other stuff. And you'll get more updated stuff. I mean, there are one or two things I watch that I love watching all the time. And in the morning, usually, after one or two times, it's there. The newest episode of that, whatever, is there. And I watch it. And it takes about 10 minutes to watch an episode on what I'm watching. But other things, you get little 30-second things, you get a 30-minute thing, you get an hour things on some subjects. And if you choose to watch it, fine. If you find another one that's 3 minutes long, highlights of the last game, you're like, hey, there's the highlights of the game I missed. 3 minutes, boom, you're done. 10 minutes, boom, you're done. You've seen it. You want the California wildfires? 8 million videos all over the place, all about the wildfires. And while they were going on, we were up to date constantly from YouTube because they had videos of the local news stations in the area. News stations around the world were reporting on this. And it was interesting to see the different stations from around the world reporting on this. And there were interviews with people all over the place. You could just sit there forever watching those interviews. I love Haystack News. It's a great little source for news, and it looks for local channels to try to help you out with that. You can go in your streaming service device or TV and type in the name of your city or a city close by. I'm in Ocala, Florida, and antennas are still great options for most of you, but Ocala, it's not a great option. The closest thing I can get is Fox, and I can't get it unless I put something on top of the roof probably, because they have some kind of metal sheeting in the attic for insulation from the hot summer sun, and it blocks cell signal and a little bit, and it blocks antenna. So you'd have to be on the roof, but the neighborhood doesn't allow roof antennas, so you're not doing that. But when I was near Tampa, yeah, it was fine. I got great service. I got great channels, and I had a tableau to record stuff, and we'd fast forward through commercials. It was neat. But I encourage, get the antenna, try it out, check some websites, and see if it's for you. It's in your area. You can get something quick and easy with a cheap antenna, or you have to get a little more high tech, or you just not an option for you for antenna like I am right now, which is fine. We've got some streaming services. You want network stuff, it airs the next day. Like if you're watching The Rookie, it comes on cable, and one day it's on streaming on Hulu the next day. And that's your ABC content, Hulu. If you're interested in CBS, that's Paramount Plus. If you're NBC, that's Peacock. And Fox stuff, FX stuff is on Hulu. So that solves that. There are places for PBS content. PBS does have some free stuff on their app, and they tell you to get a passport pass, which you donate to your local station for money, and you get the rest of it. So there's that option if you're a big PBS person. If you're into those British dramas, there's the apps Acorn, there's the apps BritBox. Those both have British dramas, along with PBS stuff has a lot of British dramas. So you look at that and research that. Acorn tends to have a little bit of British and a little bit of Australian and a little bit of Irish, and they have a little bit of different places. But BritBox is more British. But you can research that for yourself. Get it for a month, give it a go. If you like it, keep it for a while. Catch up on your shows. A lot of people rotate. 1 month, start of the month, let's get a new streaming service. About a week or two in, drop that service. If you got any free, wait till after the free week, get into the real part of it, and then drop it then, because you'll lose your week if you do it too early. But just drop it. And a lot of times it'll say, and it's still good till the 30th or 31st or whatever. And you're like, cool, I'll keep watching. and then it'll expire, and that'll be it. And you, by the next month, you start another service or 2 or 3. Most people have 3 or 4 streaming services. They may not all be, for the pay part. Usually they'll pay. Hello, there's an e-bike. See how easy that flies down, doesn't it? Easy to pedal. But getting more traffic now. I'm in the back of a store. I was hoping to keep away from the traffic, but that's all right. You guys are good, right? So anyway, yeah, let's get all the 3 or 4 services most people have. Rotate them. If you wanted a network service, use 3 networks. You could rotate literally year round, getting a few, watching, catching up on your shows. I know you Peacock people or NBC would be getting Chicago Fire, Chicago Med, all those Chicago shows, and The Voice, and all that stuff, and a few originals that you can't get on NBC. The Day of the Jackal is excellent. Poker Face is excellent on streaming. And you get a pause button, and you can get back to it, and it keeps track of your shows. I like to write them down because if something really glitches, I'll know. I won't have to keep looking. Have we seen this one? Have we seen this one? Okay, what season were we in? And we catch up that way. But it's not a big deal. Either way, it works fine. But you can pause it. You can watch it the next day. You can catch a little bit of it. And you got to do something, or you got to deal with something in the house. Deal with it. Go to bed. Wake up the next day. Catch up on your show right where you were. No big deal. If it's got ads, just like watching cable. No big deal. No big deal. You want to pay extra for no ads? That's your choice. In the real world, live events are still going to have ads. Sports are still going to have ads, okay? But usually, and any of those self-promotional things you see before something starts, like if you're watching Poker Face and all of a sudden they have a little clip for a new movie on Peacock show and you have ad-free, you spend all that extra money, everyone does that. That's self-promotion. That doesn't count as an ad, okay? And in sports events, especially live, they're putting the ads on there, so you're not getting it ad-free. But yeah, and there's going to be a new ESPN updated app. It's going to cost money, but a lot of you may look at it and go, "Oh, I like all this. Yeah, that's all I need. I don't need YouTube TV for $80. I can get this." And Fox One will be out, so that's supposed to help with putting their content on. A lot of these apps, like Paramount Plus, have ads, no ads. A lot of times when you get no ads, you get a little bit more. You get you get maybe 12 cities of live news. You might get some more live sporting events that way, being with the no ads. Because if you spend a little extra, they give you a little extra sometimes. But sometimes with the ads, you can still get some live sports. So check into that. See what you want to do. Don't just jump on YouTube TV this September. Wait and see what's going on with Fox One and ESPN and see if it's a good deal for you. You don't have to jump into FUBU unless you're just going to do it for the season and you're going to cancel. A lot of people get Sling. They get a few things, or they downgrade to Sling so they still have that cable feel. But once you get used to the world is going on demand, which is streaming things like Netflix. Get you a Netflix, an Apple TV Plus, an Amazon Prime Video, or a HBO Max. And those don't cover the networks, but they have tons of great content. If you want to cover the networks, you got your Peacock, your Hulu, and your Paramount Plus. And plus, you get all the extra good stuff. If you're a Star Trek fan, that's on Paramount Plus. You're a Star Wars fan, that's on Disney Plus. And always combine Disney Plus and Hulu since they're merging anyway for an extra $1 with ads. It's like, I think, $10.99 with both of them. You get both instead of $9.99 for one. So you get both. So when you're rotating, you're always rotating Disney Plus Hulu together as one $10.99 with ads. Don't worry about it. Don't pay the extra. Why bother? It's a few ads. And Apple TV Plus, as of this recording, 7/7/25, is still ad-free. And if you get an Apple TV device plugged in with an HDMI on the back of the TV, you'll notice it different from the Fire devices or the Roku devices. There's really not really ads on that thing. This is the F1 movie. They're pushing that everywhere. That's getting pushed. Yeah, they're pushing that in your wallet, Apple Wallet. So yeah, you're going to get some self-promotion. Everyone's going to do that. Don't worry about it. Just don't worry about it. But having that pause button when somebody says something, you know, your spouse says something to you, and you have to, you got to listen. So you got to hit pause. And you can't understand something, you just go in, click and go up a little bit, and sometimes those little controls pop up. And then there's the closed caption control. You find that, you put it on, and now you can read what people are saying on the screen. So if it's a British show and you're having a little trouble and you're American, you're having a little trouble with that quick dialogue, I love slow horses on Apple TV Plus, but I always put on the closed caption for that baby, because they just talk a little too quick. How you doing? There's another rider. Everybody sneaks back here, just gets us away from the traffic. And it's a great show. It's a little slow build. Hang in there. Once you realize Gary Oldman, who plays the grumpy old guy that runs Slow House, the place where the MI5 agents that have screwed up get sent to kind of bury their careers, but they still get assignments. They get the kind of assignments that nobody wants. And he acts like he doesn't give a damn about them. He doesn't give a damn about the assignments. But secretly, he does. And he gets the assignments from the people that are the bosses. They meet him on a park bench, and he sits there with the lady, and she's telling him what she wants his team to do, and he's telling her how it's going to be done because it's his team, and he calls the shots or denies it or accepts it, kind of. But if anyone was going to take the fall, it's going to be the Slow Horses, or Slow House is another name for the place, and then it's based on a book series. So yeah, it gets better and better. It builds and builds, and you're like, oh my gosh. And Gary Oldman's doing all this behind the scenes stuff that you didn't realize. You thought he was just some old grumpy old guy. He is a grumpy old guy, but he's the smartest guy in the room. When you realize that, it becomes more fun because he jabs the MI5 people too. He shows them who still got it, and I enjoy the show. I really do. I mean, Apple TV Plus is huge. Everyone should try it. There's a Greyhound movie with Tom Hanks you've probably never seen because I don't think it was ever in theaters. You've got Ted Lasso, which won all those awards. You got Coda, which won the Academy Award for Best Picture. It was an Apple movie. And the F1 movie that's out in theaters now is an Apple movie. And that's why it's getting promoted big time by Apple. Even if you're ad-free, you're getting promoted, baby. So, yeah, Apple's great. We watch For All Mankind every time there's a new season. There's another season of Invasion coming out, which is a little slow build until you actually saw the aliens. When you saw them, the scariness and the threat, it kicked in for us. We were like, we're on board now. We're ready. What comes next? And yeah, there's tons of good shows because Apple has the money to spend on a foundation level show that people thought would never get made because it was just too hard to make. It was too expensive. There's no way to do foundation, the great Isaac Asimov novels on a film budget or even a TV budget. But Apple coughs up the money, and now you've got a foundation series. So it's something to look into, even if you do it a month. Get hooked on some shows, keep it a month. You can go back to it. You can get back to it. Same with Paramount. Taylor Sheridan, the creator of Yellowstone, huge show. And it was on cable, yeah. But they sold the rights to Peacock, so they'd have a hit. I mean, Peacock, of the big 8, I consider Peacock the lowest of the low. They got The Office back from Netflix, and ooh, we got The Office. And I'm like, yeah, okay. But then they got Yellowstone, so they got to have the last few seasons of that, and they still have it, I think. So you could watch Yellowstone now. It's a great show, but it's for adults. It's not a kid's show. And it's Taylor Sheridan's little gem. And now Taylor Sheridan's doing shows for Paramount Plus, and he's got some great stuff. I mean, literally, when you go down the rows of Paramount stuff, you'll probably find one row that says Taylor Sheridan, and you'll be like, oh, there it is. And there are 2 prequel shows for Yellowstone in there. 1883, that are just great. 1923 with Harrison Ford. There's a Shrinking show on Apple TV Plus with Harrison Ford. Big movie star doing TV. That tells you something. The world of streaming is where it's at, where the giant shows are. If you love Discovery Plus content, Magnolia Network with the Gaineses, they're on HBO Max. Most of it is there. If you're fanatical about, I need more of my Discovery content, there's a Discovery Plus app, but you usually don't need it. A lot of the apps now, I mean, when they launched Disney Plus, they acted like they were going to eventually have the entire library there, and only there on Disney Plus. Now everyone's like, it costs money to put every single episode of everything out there. That costs too much money. And we have to pay royalties to producers and directors, and nah, we're not doing that. So back in the vault. Things will go back in the vault, or they get sold. Minor things are getting sold off to other streaming services, and everyone's playing that game again. So and Netflix loves it because they just scoop up everything. And then people go, wow, this cool show's Suits. Everyone discovered Suits on Netflix. It had already been canceled years ago. And they're like, isn't this great? I said, well, it's on Peacock too, because it's an NBC show. Oh, well. So you can watch Suits on Peacock if you want to. Great show. Not the Suits LA. They got bad reviews. That's probably not going to make it next season. But the original Suits was great. And it's something to definitely consider. Watch some NCIS on anywhere. It's on Netflix. It's on Paramount Plus because it's a CBS show. The #1 network in the USA is CBS. So if you want to see the best shows, you get Paramount Plus. I mean, you can tell when you've got a good network when they don't cancel anything, hardly. I think they canceled like 1 or 2 shows. And the next best network is ABC, which will be on your Hulu stuff. And they've merged a lot of ABC stuff into Disney Plus, and some of the Disney Plus stuff. It's a little bit back and forth. The more adult stuff is on Hulu. But just get both at the same time, you're good to go. You are good to go, but you do not need cable. Oh my gosh, cancel cable. Just cancel it and get, or like almost $10 or so. You pay for your Wi-Fi, you pay for that, and keep it low, start low. It's easy to start with, most Netflix can be streamed with the speed of 100, megabytes, something like that. Don't take a terabyte unless you're doing super expensive gaming or you've got some kind of business you're running that you've got to have this high-speed internet for it. But other than that, 1, 2, 3, 400 is fine. It's fine for most houses. It depends on how many other devices you are and how many people are online and other different things like that. But start low. You can always go up. If it's not right for you, we started with the new house here in Ocala and got the minimum. I said, well, it's easy to go up. But when you call in and say, I want to go down, they go, oh, well, it takes time to do that. And, you either have to pay extra and do this. And, they give you a hard time to go down because they don't want to lose the money. Simple as that. So start low. If it's acceptable for you, fine. If you have to kick it up a touch, kick it slow. Kick it up slow, baby. And you'll be fine. You'll be absolutely fine. So definitely cancel cable. Oh my gosh, it's archaic. Nobody watches cable. If you need someone, if you're not good with technology, get a Roku. Some kind of Roku, get some streaming services. If Roku ever gives you a hard time, eventually you change the batteries if it has batteries. If not, make sure it's charged. And it'll work fine. Usually it's great. We have on our living room TV, we've got an Apple TV box because I have an iPhone. And when you search for something on the Apple TV box, it jumps to the iPhone so I can type on my phone. Cool feature. Apple loves to integrate stuff. But my wife, she has the Samsung. How you doing? The biker. Oops, get in gear. You don't lose your chain. Oh, no. May have lost the chain. So she has a Samsung, and she loves her Roku. We got a Roku Ultra plugged in the back of that thing, and it's great. And if you've ever had a hiccup with the streaming service, let's say you're watching one streaming service and it's just not cooperating that day, there's something going a little buggy about it, you just switch to the other box. You know, if it's on the Roku, you switch to the Apple. If it's on the Apple, you switch to the Roku. They're different apps because they have different engineers and stuff that have to work on this stuff. And it's probably gonna be fine. And then the other one, they'll correct it because they'll realize there's some buggy thing going on, and they'll have it fixed in a day or two. Won't be a big deal. But so we love it. I have my remote. She has her remote. I've got my set up with apps the way arranged I want them, and then she's got her apps the way she wants them. And when you click on YouTube on your device, you get your YouTube channel. You don't have to go, oh, I want to pick mine. It right away says, you want to pick yours again? Yeah, mine. And it goes right to your YouTube channel. We love keeping the YouTube channel on the top left of everything streaming, because a lot of times when it defaults and it goes to that first app is YouTube. And you can watch 5 minutes of something, 10 minutes of something, 30 minutes of something, and when you get ready to go to bed, you get a little tired. 5 minutes more, 10 minutes more, it's on YouTube. You're in the YouTube. And my wife loves her gardening shows. Oh my gosh, she watches those all the time. She'll watch, if there's 1 or 2 shows that you might find on Discovery, she'll watch behind the scenes of that. I think the Pioneer Lady, what's her name? Dr. Pimple Popper, I've seen her watching that on YouTube. Little clips and stuff. You get clips. That's all you need to get you through the day. You don't have to watch 30 minutes or an hour or something. How you doing? Ears are having trouble. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna go, but cut cable. You don't need it. Don't need it. Get a streaming service for 2, 3. Enjoy your life. Bye. Like and subscribe.